Hello, the purpose of this video is to show you how to set up or finalize your Excel files. Normally when you're working in Excel, you're working in normal view, which is this view down here. And you're working in your spreadsheet, you're typing text, you're typing formulas, you're entering data, blah blah blah. And then when you're finished, there are a few things that I want you to do before you submit your files. This will be for every Excel file in this class. Okay, so let me bring up another file here. And okay, so this is an example of what not to do. There's several problems with this workbook. The first of which, I can't see anything. Okay, this happens quite often. I will get workbooks from students, and I will open them up, and this is what I see. So immediately I think, well, they didn't do anything, so should I give them a 0? Well, of course I've learned that I need to look and check. So there's a few things that you need to do to fix these problems. Okay, the first problem is this workbook is not in normal view. It is in page layout view. You can see it down here in the status bar. So then always submit your work in normal view. Okay, not page layout view, normal view. Alright, so that's the first thing, normal view. The second thing to do is we always want cell A1 to be the top leftmost cell. Right now, cell F10 is. See that? Cell F10. What's the quickest way to get to cell A1? Ctrl Home. The keyboard shortcut, Ctrl Home. And there is our work right there. So that is the second thing to do, Ctrl Home to get to cell A1. The third thing that I want you to do is go to Print Preview and look at your spreadsheet as it will look if it were printed. Of course, I will not have you print anything this quarter, but I will have you print preview to prepare for printing. Okay, so at first glance this looks pretty good. I can see some data, I can see the chart, that looks pretty good, but look down here at the bottom. How many pages do I have? 2. So what's on the second page? Oh, one little column with a line. This is not good. Okay, so you'll want to always look at your files in Print Preview and fix any problems like this. Okay, how do you fix them? Well, the first thing I suggest is to look at the shape of your data. Okay, and what I do for that is I zoom out using my zoom slider down here. Zoom out and kind of blur my eyes and look at the shape of my data. Is this data more tall? Is it taller or is it wide? This data looks wide, so that should be reflected in our page orientation. Orientation is in the page layout tab, the page setup group, the orientation button. So if your data is wide, then let your orientation wide. That is landscape. Okay, and then let's look back at our Print Preview. And how many pages is that? That's 1 page. Now, a few other things. Now, notice the data is kind of aligned to the left. Well, let's change that to be centered on the page, and we can do that by using custom margins, and then we can center the page horizontally by checking this checkbox right here. Okay, click OK. And notice our data moves over to the center of the page. Alright? And then, one more thing. We want to make sure that you print the entire workbook. So in Print Preview, again, we want to click the Print Active Sheets button, but we want to print the entire workbook, not just the active sheets. Okay? And in this case, it didn't matter because we only have 1 sheet. But if you had several sheets in this workbook, this would print all of them. Okay, sometimes the book will tell you to group all of your sheets, and in this case we only have 1, but sometimes one of the last things the book will tell you will be to select all sheets and then save it and turn it in. But I do not want you to do that. Okay, I do not want to select. I don't want to open a file and have all of the sheets selected and have a group in my title bar up here. Okay, the way I want you to do it is select the most relevant sheet, whichever sheet should be the first sheet, and then go to print preview and select print entire workbook here. Okay, so if you can do all of those things, then when you submit your file and I open it up, I will be happy and I will be in a good mood when I'm grading your work. And not only that, but it's good practice for professional work in the office as well. Okay, so I hope this video helps you remember how to set up or finalize an Excel workbook file. Thanks.